There was an idea
to bring together a group of remarkable people.
To see if we could become something more.
So when they needed us, we could fight the battles
that they never could.
Welcome to Don't Feed After Midnight. I'm Steve.
And I'm Mike.
And we're going to talk about that horrible, disgusting movie.
Garbage.
Garbageans of the galaxy.
Avengers. Garbage War.
Garbage War. That's so bad. Infinity War. Part 1 of
5.
Oh, God.
Just give it to me forever.
I want all of it.
Part 1 of Infinite.
I love it. That would be awesome. Oh, my God.
They keep making the same movie.
Oh, my fucking God. I would love that. They keep resetting. He snaps. They keep resetting it and doing. Robert Downey Jr. is like 65. Like, I gotta stop.
It's over. My career. It's been over for a long time. You let me die in peace, Walt Disney.
All right.
Movie.
So, let's see. What happened in that movie? There was something about some rocks. This is the moment you take to go and change your clothes for bed. You're so weird. We were recording in a hotel room because Mike and I travel for a living. You know, we travel around the Midwest. And he just stood up and just took his pants off.
I had shorts on.
You had shorts on. Still not the point. You still just stood up out of the blue and whipped your pants off while we're podcasting.
It's warm in there.
It's inappropriate.
Good weather.
I turned the fan off and the air conditioning because it was loud. We're staying at a Hilton Hotel. We're on the 8th floor, and the fan sounds like a goddamn airplane propeller. It's like inappropriate. Not acceptable.
No, but movies and stuffs and things.
Yeah, this movie. Oh, yeah. I got a list of likes. I liked the Hulk gets his huge ass kicked.
Yeah, that was awesome.
I liked that some Asgardians survived, including, what's her name?
Valkyrie,
who I love. I like that Loki actually dies.
Yep.
That was fantastic. It was great. His neck just...
It crunched it.
I
awesome.
really enjoyed that Captain America and Black Widow versus Corvus Glaive Proxima Midnight fight.
It was nice.
I realized that Scarlet Witch was there. And Vision was there, but they just pretty much got their asses handed to them moving over.
Yeah, like Scarlet Witch just kind of like held Proxima Midnight back. She didn't really do anything. She like held her back.
The fuck happened? They're so like underpowered. I mean, what happened to fucking House of M?
Who, Scarlet?
Because she'd be like...
Well, it's because she left the Avengers so quick. She left them so early. That's why she's so underpowered right now. She was only with them for like 8 months. And then
she'd be like, no more mutants. She'd be like no more bitches.
No more bitch.
She disappears.
Bitch.
Somewhere Jean Grey's like, what the fuck? Vanishes.
Last words before death. Bitch.
That's so terrible.
She's underpowered in the movies because she was only an Avenger for like 8 months, and then Civil War happened, and then she went off the grid with Vision, and they just been a romance ever since.
And they killed her fucking brother off, which I thought was stupid.
Yeah, I think he'll come back.
I love Quicksilver.
I think he's got a lot of potential to come back.
He's a fun character. Although in the books, in the comics, he's a little bit of an arrogant ass. You know what he reminds me of in the comics?
Huh.
He reminds me a lot of Namor. He's a bit like Namor with speed. He's arrogant,
Namor was
and
speed.
presumptuous. I mean, really speed, of course, obviously.
Yeah.
And without those little stupid little wings on his ankles.
Yeah. Without dumb powers.
Yeah, dumb power. Namor's so fucking useless. Hey, I'm sorry, he is. He's a bit of a, I don't know.
He's just Aquaman, but less better dressed and
stronger. I mean, he is stronger. He's,
yeah.
Didn't they say he's like the first mutant? He was like the very first.
Yeah, he's like the proto mutant.
Yeah.
Or some shit like
the whole
that.
getting his ass kicked was interesting because it's like
It was nice because you could see Thanos didn't even have to use the Power Stone. He had it in the gauntlet, but he didn't have to use it.
yeah, he didn't actually charge it. He's so physically strong because the Titans are just strong, but Thanos is really strong.
Yeah, he's like, being that deviant strain and being like the warlord that he is. That dude's just a beast. And then he starts pulling out like the special like Neo moves and shit.
Oh yeah, he's fucking like jumping.
He's like whap,
kneeing him in the
whap,
head. He blocks the Hulk's punch and then punches the inside of his shoulder, kicks him in the knee.
That shit was so great.
Punches. I mean, it was really good. It was like pow 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 pow, James Bond shit.
He fucking picked him up like John Cena and just slammed his ass.
That was pretty funny. And the Hulk's like, dude.
Oh.
And fucking, and then you get like Heimdall just with like, one last time. And he sends him to Earth, which I thought was pretty
Right,
sweet.
he was like, oh, fathers,
Yeah.
give me the strength.
It was awesome. It
It was so cool.
was like Mum Ra.
It was
Powers of darkness, give me the strength.
right. It was so.
Ancient spirits of evil, transform this decayed form to Mum-Ra, the ever-living!
Fucking sweet.
Oh.
And then he gets fucking murdered right after
and
that.
it's slow death too. It's not like he was a quick.
Right, he
stabbed.
just got the.
You get stabbed is bad. Like you get shot,
Right.
it's like it's over. But you get stabbed, it's slow.
You sit there and just take
Like,
it till you bleed out. Like
It's
and
pretty
then then Loki died.
Loki died, which I thought it was fake, but maybe it was real.
It could very well turn out that he's not actually dead. I could see it, but
Me too. Like
But-
he faked it. But I mean, the thing is, because if you think about it, what fucking Thanos didn't have the Reality Stone at that point,
or the Soul Stone.
or the Soul Stone, so he couldn't tell if Loki was putting a glamour. Well, he may have been able to.
But
But
he-
Thanos does use magic
Yeah.
in the comics. I don't know
Yeah.
in this if he doesn't.
I don't know if he does in this because they didn't show it. They only showed him with the gauntlet.
Yeah.
But
It's really true.
but he
actually.
definitely blew up that ship.
Yeah.
And there's not many ways that Loki could have managed to get away. He couldn't have got away with Hulk because Hulk was gone before Loki, air quote, died. It couldn't have been, I don't think he could have been in the Thor situation because I feel like he would have revealed. Like, there would have been no real reason to hide when people are gathering to fight him. Especially with that touching moment he had right before he died, like where he was like, yeah, I accept that I wasn't Odin's son, but I'm taking the family like name because they raised me and I'm royalty because of them, and like that was a really good moment for him. Then Banner totally erectile dysfunctioned his whole way through this whole entire movie. Like, it's just, I can't be Hulk. Nope.
That was interesting.
He's like, Hulk, come out. Hulk's like, fuck you. And just like fucking crawled back into his dick. Like,
Yeah, that was weird. It was really strange. He was like, no.
the CGI on that scene was kind of weird, but it was like hilarious.
It was good. For what it was.
For what it was. He's just like, no, what do you mean, no?
Yeah, it's so funny.
When, that entire New York scene was great. Just starting with Tony and Pepper in the park, and then Doctor Strange shows up. He's like, "Hey, you gotta come with me." He's like, "For what?" Or what did he say? He said, "You gotta, you selling cookies or something?" And he, like immediately, like,
Yeah, he's just being a jerk.
yeah. And he's like, "It's urgent." He's like, "Well, how urgent we talking?" And then Banner shows up, and he's like, "Tony, are you gonna get your ass in here?" Like, I got some stories to tell,
I got
bro.
some stories, dude. Come on. I got a couple lines of Coke. I got some coffee.
I got
Let's
some
get you,
bitches.
let's get you ready to go. Pepper's like, what the fuck? He's
Right.
like, Tony's like, shut up, bitch.
Shut up, bitch.
Horrible, typical
Snap.
rich guy. Rich asshole. No, that never happened. That's not it.
No, that wasn't part.
That was the Don't Feed After Midnight version.
That was the special
Full,
edition.
the special edition.
The director's cut.
The Don't Feed After Midnight director's cut. Full of insulting, inappropriate humor.
And awkward boners.
It just leads off. You see people just like, oh. And it's just the opening credits are just a parade of Iron Man armor. And then like like you see like Moon Knight come by, we're like, oh, Moon Knight,
Conceal the boner.
No, it's good. I mean, it was really good. I liked also the Gamora scenes. Like they were emotional, well written, and the romance between her and Peter Quill.
The fact that it's evolved,
and it felt like it wasn't new. It had been going on for a while. Because at this point, we've had a couple of years.
Well,
right?
since Guardians 2 presumably takes place like a month after Guardians 1.
Yeah.
So like, and Guardians 1 takes place like back when like Avengers 2 happened or some shit.
And you have a year or so. I mean, the Guardians have been tramping around the galaxy for at least a year at this point.
Well, since Guardians 2, it's been like 3 years.
Yeah.
So like, they got 3 years of experience as a team just patrolling the space and doing their Guardians thing, whether they're robbing people or whether they're saving planets. But no, they did a really good job showing that like Gamora and Peter are like past that whole awkward stage of like we're gonna hide our relationship.
Yeah,
Like they're actually serious about it.
That's true. And the comedy with the Guardians was really good because it's really weird. It kept up the same pacing and the same quirkiness of that movie.
It did. It was really perfect.
The Trash Panda comedy. So I love that.
Because now he's mocking me.
Yeah, that's so funny. What do you call him? A bunny?
He called him a trash panda or some shit. Oh no, you're talking about Thor. Thor called him a rabbit.
A space rabbit.
He just called him rabbit all the time.
Yeah.
He's just like, what's a rabbit?
It's funny. And Groot had like a sass mouth. I like that the first thing they do is Groot's like, oh, Groot. And they're like, whoa, language.
He's like, hey, Groot.
Whoa.
Think of the children.
That was so fucking funny.
And then
And Peter Dinklage.
Dinklage.
He was so fucking
his
good.
role was like out of nowhere, but it was
great.
perfect. See, when he first showed up, I was like, damn, he's a giant. And then every scene after that where Thor isn't in the same shot, I'm like, oh, it's just Peter Dinklage. Because he's got the midget frame. So when you see him just standing in an area alone, you're like, oh, he's a midget. But when he's next to Thor and he's towering over him, you're like, oh, he's a giant.
Yeah.
So like I'm watching the movie and I'm switching back and forth.
He's a dwarf, but he's a Nephilim dwarf, so he's
a giant. Yeah.
But he's still technically like he has dwarf proportions.
Right.
That's really strange.
It's funky.
I don't get it. But it was really. I love Peter Dinklage. He's fantastic. He's probably one of the most premier actors I think of our time. He's really.
Oh yeah, he's a class act for sure.
He's the movies he's been in. I saw one movie he was in, and it was just all I saw was the end of it. He's just sitting there smoking a cigarette, sitting out on a porch with a bunch of people. I'm like, it's a good movie.
That's the coolest dude.
I don't even know.
I don't even know what this movie is.
This movie's fantastic.
Peter Dinklage is smoking on a porch.
That's awesome.
That's the shit.
And the deaths were cool in this movie. Like
a lot of
the
deaths.
way people died.
Yeah.
Was really well
Gamora
done.
getting sacrificed.
Oh my god, that was great. We get the Red Skull being the protector of the Soul Stone. That was really good.
Yeah,
that was an interesting callback because he hasn't been seen since Captain America.
It's been a long time. Yeah, like 2010.
Is it? Oh, it's only been that far?
8 years ago. It's been like majority of the MCU since Cap 1.
Oh, really? When did Captain America: First Avenger come out?
I think it was like the 4th movie,
or
maybe the 5th. It was Iron Man, Hulk, Iron Man 2, and then like it was either Cap or Thor after that. I think it was Cap, then Thor, then Avengers, if I'm correct. I think that's what it is. I remember.
It's been a while. It's been so long.
But yeah, it's been like 8 years since Captain America, so like no one was expecting the Red Skull to be the main dude, and he looked badass. Like, just like
it's been 7 years since we've seen Red Skull.
7,
yeah.
Yeah.
So
he's it's really cool how they explained him, how he's like cursed with this like job of just making sure that whoever comes for the Soul Stone knows how to get it, and that's his only purpose in the universe.
Yeah, for the last 7 decades, he was basically watching over the stone.
Yeah,
and it was as punishment for thinking he could wield the space stone. But my question is, who punished him?
Right. Well, exactly. And that's a whole nother thing to open up. And what happens after Thanos gets the Soul Stone? Is Red Skull just sent back to Germany? Like, is he good? Or is he fucking, like, free to die? Like what's the deal there? Like, he was cursed the moment he touched the Tesseract. And his only goal was to be the keeper of the Soul Stone until someone got it.
And the thing is, Hugo Weaving, it was like really vocal about not wanting to return to the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
They replaced his ass.
They did because they were going to be like, I don't want to be in those movies. Like, oh, well, fuck you then.
Well, fuck you then. We'll get somebody that can just be you.
Yeah, so he was played by the impressionist Walking Dead actor Ross Marquand.
He's a beast.
Marquand.
He's cool.
And,
he's really cool. He's the gay dude. I'm Walking Dead. His boyfriend died.
What?
Yeah, Aaron. He's
That was him?
Yeah.
Oh, so it was. What do you know?
Yeah, he was the recruiter.
Idea.
He does, like, when you watch the movie, he doesn't, like, there's very few moments where you see it, like, in his face.
Yeah, that's him, you know.
But, like, majority of the time you're looking at him, it's like, holy shit, they just brought in Red Skull. That's fucking crazy.
Really funny.
The usage of the stones in this movie was top notch.
It was very interesting, wasn't it?
I was so happy they went the route they did. The usage of the Reality Stone especially was like the shit. They really got that one right. In Nowhere, when he had this entire illusion that, like, he was still interrogating the Collector. And then they show up and they're like, oh shit, he's interrogating him. He's gonna get a stone. What the fuck? And then Gamora's like, fuck all that. Well, I'm gonna stop him. And then he's just like, yeah, you thought you could kill me right out the gate. Well, that's a shame. Because,
I'm still alive.
And everybody here is dead.
She started crying when she killed him, though. She was
because she really, like...
did not want to have to do that. She has that twisted, almost Patty Hearst thing.
Right, that Stockholm.
Yeah, where she's like...
She's a victim, but she still loves the people that victimize her.
And I loved it, like, as they faded away, as reality faded away, you saw the Collector just waving off.
Oh, yeah, he's in the cage or whatever.
He's happy. He's like, wee! Yeah. You gotta wonder, though, is he dead, or did he throw the stone at Thanos and run away?
I think he's fucking dead.
I don't think so. I think he escaped, because he is an elder in the universe, and he's very, very smart.
I think he's fucking done.
And he survived a lot of shit.
I think he's done. I think he's such a weasel of a character that he's dead, and they're going to leave it at that.
But the thing is, the Collector, like the Grandmaster, believe it or not, is actually physically very powerful.
Oh, yeah.
And he's like, he can direct cosmic energy. Like, he's cosmically powered. So, I mean, whereas Thanos does, he has a lot of strength, he doesn't wield the power cosmic, I don't think. He wields power cosmic. And if you like, literally, if you can wield the power cosmic.
No, at this point, Thanos doesn't wield the power cosmic.
Yeah, because you can survive in space, you can fly faster than light, you can do all this shit. It's basically like a Silver Surfer.
I don't know. See, that's what I feel like. I feel like the MCU, Grandmaster and Collector, I feel like they're both just brothers that are really fucking old. Like, I don't know what it is. They have yet to give the proof that they are...
Yeah, they didn't really define them, did
they? They haven't defined them. That's what bugs me about it. That's the only thing that bugs me about their characters. Because the Grandmaster, you know, they gave him this player's route where he's like, you know, he's just running the club, basically.
Yeah.
Like, he is the kingpin of Sakaar. And then the Collector, he's just the Collector. He's the guy that collects the goodies and sells the goodies. Like, they've given him nothing else. He just seems like a weirdo. They've shown no power from him.
Well, there's that third brother.
I forget what
the
his
Gardener.
Name is. The dude that makes that made Groot.
Groot, yeah.
Yeah.
Isn't it interesting? So I mean, I wonder if they'll have him in the next.
He could be in Guardians 3.
That'd be kind of fun.
That'd be sweet. Make Super Groot.
Super Groot. That'd be hilarious.
That'd be the shit.
Yeah, it was pretty sweet. I mean, I liked Gamora's death did make sense. You know.
Oh yeah,
it had to be. You know,
I figured it was gonna happen.
The creation of Thor's new axe and everything was really cool.
That was the shit. Very cool visuals.
I mean, the Wakanda parts were interesting. I mean, they didn't really show them a lot. Like, I mean,
it was quick. The Wakanda parts were quick.
I expected a little bit more, given the popularity of Black Panther. They really didn't focus on them as much. I mean, they had to fit a lot in, obviously. You know, but
well, I found out the Russos and the writers of this movie were writing it as Black Panther was in concept stage.
Oh.
So they've been working on this movie for like 4 years now. And even back then, before Black Panther even had a fate in his movie, like, they were already writing his death in Infinity War. Like, they were already writing his disappearance. And, you know, a major Marvel exec I heard, like, came up to them and was like, dude, like, we're making a lot of fucking money off of Black Panther. And a lot of people are going to know either there's going to be a sequel coming or there isn't going to be a sequel coming based on what you do in this movie. Please don't kill him. And they were like, fuck you. We know what we're doing with the story. Yeah. Like, we're the people that are geniuses behind this. Just wait for the second... like, wait for Avengers 4.
What the fuck you think this is, like, Warner Brothers?
Like,
you gonna fuck with us?
This pays off. Like, shut up.
This ain't Justice League, motherfucker. And they kick him, and they throw him. They literally pick him up and physically throw him off the lot. Like, I own this lot. Oh.
Deadpool wedgies the chick from behind and walks away.
Was that what I mean? Now, what scenes didn't you like though? Because there was very little I did not like about this movie. There weren't
scenes I didn't like. There were CGI moments I didn't like.
Oh yeah, the Hulk thing, or the Banner.
The Hulkbuster in the Banner suit with the helmet off for no fucking reason. I don't understand that. Like,
didn't it get ripped off? I thought it got ripped off.
No, there's the moment where Thor shows up to Wakanda and you see the axe whirl out and then like comes back, he catches it, and then Banner purposely pops the head up on the Hulkbuster and he's like, you guys are so screwed, and his head and his body, it just doesn't match up with, whether it's the lighting or something, but he just doesn't match up with the Hulkbuster at all in that shot. And then at the very end, when Cap's like sitting there like contemplating the fact that Thanos just won, and they show the zoom out shot, like, they show Banner again with the helmet up, like, and I'm just looking at it like, God, that looks terrible.
But Tony would pop the helmet open sometimes too to talk.
Not in the Hulkbuster. He was talking to Hulk like through the.
Well, yeah, definitely, yeah.
And there's plenty of moments where Tony is talking through the helmet anyway to people.
Oh, yeah. No,
there was really no reason for it, especially in the battle. Like, they were amongst the battle and he pops it open to say, you guys are screwed. Like, just yell it. You got a speaker system.
Yeah, right. Oh, yeah. Amplification. Yeah.
I mean, come on.
There were a few things I didn't like. I mean, I realized that, Star-Lord and Gamora, he loved her, whatever, blah, blah, blah. I mean, Peter Quill is supposed to be this good leader.
Yeah.
He's supposed to be seasoned at this point, right? I mean, he's a seasoned. He was
supposedly. You know. He's very playful of a character, though.
But I mean, like, losing it and punching Thanos in the face like that, knowing what was at stake.
Oh, I get it.
But I was like,
I knew why he did it. I understand why he did it, because the dude has literally lost every important character in his life.
He still has all his friends and everything. He just lost Gamora.
The most important people of his life are dead.
Yeah.
Except, I mean, like, Drax is important, sure. Mantis is important, sure. But the most important people to Peter Quill were his mom, and whether he was a dick or not, Yondu, and Gamora. The three most important people in Peter Quill's life are gone.
It's true.
And, like... And then he killed his own dad. And...
It was pretty fucked up.
It was terrible. And I feel like Drax and Mantis are more like friends amongst the group.
Oh yeah, they're buddies, you know.
But like he just like heard that his wife just died.
Well, practically.
Practically,
yeah.
You know.
I mean, I don't know. It just. I don't know.
He could have waited an extra like 30 seconds.
They legit had the glove almost completely off.
Like there was a moment where Peter actually, Spider-Man actually had it off.
You gotta wonder. Think about it this way too, though. Like even if they got it off of him, what could they have done? I mean, like they couldn't.
Like they wouldn't even. They couldn't even understand.
Well, I mean, even if one of them flipped it on, they'd probably die.
Well, I don't think so. I think
you think the gauntlet stops it?
That's one of the things that, like, I think the Tesseract itself was dangerous. Do I think the Space Stone is dangerous? No, not really. I don't think the Time Stone is necessarily dangerous. The Power Stone, I think, is only dangerous because of its ability. You know what I mean? Like, like it's got an explosive effect to it, like a strength-based explosive effect. And if you're not strong enough to wield it, it's gonna kill you. I think the other stones don't really apply to that rule, to a point where I think if you had a gauntlet with all of them, The fact that you have 5 other ones that aren't the Power Stone, you'd survive it. Because the continuous power loop would just counteract that. Like, I feel like you could definitely pick up the Mind Stone if you wanted.
Oh, yeah. I mean,
and just
Vision,
have
they
it.
held it. Vision held it. I mean,
Yeah.
you know, the
Like,
Tesseract...
I mean, it's the Tesseract was its own thing. You know, it's the Cosmic Cube. And then Thanos had to break it to get the stone.
Yeah.
So
that prevented people from directly physically touching it. You know,
but
I don't know, dude. They're so confusing.
it's funky. They need to explain more. They need to come out with like an encyclopedia for this shit.
Yeah.
Because they don't explain certain things and just leave it up to speculation.
And I will say, I mean, Thanos was cool. He was cool. But he's, he's weak as a villain compared to his comic counterpart. I mean, like, you look at him, the comparison, like, their motivations and, like, just the sheer level of insanity and evil and craziness of the comic book version versus this one. I mean, I realize they have to water it down a little bit. This is going to be like a kid's film to a degree, too. Kids are going to like it. Adults are going to like it.
Yeah, he's not killing his mom in her lingerie.
I know. But, you know... It was just like, as the movie progressed and the more scenes I saw with him, I was like, you know, they could have had Terax the Terrible or something in his place.
Oh my God.
You know what I mean? Like, I was just like, I mean, it was good, but I wasn't sold on him. I liked him.
I was completely sold. I'd prefer him to not be a simp. Well, I'm glad it wasn't the death story, because the death story is so obvious. He's gonna fall for her, and then she's gonna fool him, and then he's gonna be pissed, and then he's gonna get away from her, and that's gonna be the story. Instead, they went with the whole, he thinks he's right, so he does this. No one else is gonna tell him different, and that's it. Even his daughter is like, you don't understand. Like, you think you know the way, you don't know the way. You're just making this shit up because you're a psychopath.
Yeah.
And he's like, no, but, like, you don't understand because you can't understand. I know the way. And shut up, Gamora. You're about to throw you off this ledge.
Yeah, right, exactly.
But,
You dead as hell.
Right, you dead as hell. No, but, I think, more than anything, the reason that they kind of weakened Thanos, or at least made him less violent necessarily. Because, I mean, sure, he killed Loki. I feel like that was more like just a 8 years coming revenge thing.
Well, his power set was different too. He was, I mean, he's really strong in this, but he's not near the comic level. I mean, they nerfed a lot of people, but I mean, it was just like, I wanted them to go overboard, like make him super OP and insane.
But like, if you're looking at where Marvel's movies are at this point, like coming out of Civil War was the last event movie, and since then, the heroes have not been together. They're not even, half of them aren't even cool with each other, technically. So then you come into an event like this where Thanos is coming and the team is split in half and they're rusty as shit because they haven't had to deal with a world-ending threat in fucking years. I mean, they're all rusty, and Thanos is like already at his prime, and he's like, yeah, I got some stones, bitch. And like, if they made him as crazy as comic at that point, it would have never been like all the heroes would have actually died. They would have died in a fight. It wouldn't have even been the snap. Like, they would have just died. Like, he would have crushed Spider-Man when he grabbed him. Like, I mean,
it's true. Definitely.
Like, there were a lot of moments, and you know, it's crazy to think about it because I think they did this on purpose to make it seem like he was truly a good guy and they were just in his way.
Yeah.
Like, where he has that line where he says he calls it mercy.
Yeah,
what he's doing.
Yeah.
And if you watch the movie, there's a lot of moments where he could easily kill a hero, and he doesn't. He purposely doesn't. Like, even the scene with Scarlet Witch holding them back while she's trying to kill Vision, like, he could easily just use a stone real quick and just move her out of place. Like, that chaos magic is just pushing him. That's all she's doing. Like, it's just a holdback thing. He's not even using the stones at that moment. He's just walking through it.
Yeah.
Like, there's a lot of times in the movie where I was like, he could be using some things.
He's really strange. And the other thing I didn't really like, and we've discussed this before, is the complete lack of cosmic beings. The complete lack.
Oh yeah.
I mean, Galactus, we understand. It's
Understandable.
Yeah, whatever. But no eternity.
No eternity.
No living tribunal.
No love
no
and hate.
stranger. No love and hate.
Chaos Order.
Nothing. Yeah, Master Chaos. I mean, like, nothing. And that bothered me. It's like, that is part of the whole story of the Infinity Stones.
I think it could happen in 4, though.
They need to fucking... I don't remember, when Guardians 2 came around, did they not, when they were, you remember when...
there was the Eternity Easter egg, where you could see the universe in Peter's eye.
But didn't they show, like, when they were teleporting from world to world to world, hopping, didn't they go past the Living Tribunal? Or
no, they went past the Watchers.
I thought they went past the Living Tribunal.
No,
too.
it was Stan Lee, and he was hanging with the Watchers, telling them the stories of certain things. Like, because he's the informant of the Watchers.
Yeah.
He tells them everything that goes on. There was another world that they went through, but it was like just a random dude from one of Thor's realm spots. But no Living Tribunal. I wish. I really would like to see the Living Tribunal. I think he'd be sweet.
Yeah. Or like he's the one pulling the strings or something.
If he's just aware that shit's going on and watching over.
Well, I mean, the reason the Living Tribunal didn't step in and stop Thanos to begin with is because, like Eternity, in the comic books, Eternity went up to him. They held a trial.
Like, help me.
He's like, hey, he's trying to assert my power. He's trying to take my place as literally all that is. He's trying to become all it is. And the
that's his right.
Well, the Living Tribunal said, yeah, that's nature. The weak are replaced by the strong. Mm-hmm. And if you can't handle it, he's going to replace you. That's the natural order of things. I'm not getting involved. And it was interesting to see.
And then it was just like, fuck it, you're dead.
Yeah, right.
And then he became Eternity. And that's
crazy.
that's where the downfall came in. I heard there's speaking of, this is kind of like off on a tangent, but I read earlier that there were like people that seen Benedict Cumberbatch on set for Avengers 4 in a scene that's described as him having conversation with a completely CGI character. So the people are thinking that Doctor Strange might grab Dormammu and have Dormammu join the fight somehow. Like maybe Doctor Strange opens up the dark dimension to the real world just for like a moment, like to let it happen.
I don't know. Dormammu's, he wants to destroy this particular reality. So if Thanos killed half the beings, he'd be happy. Right. Dormammu he literally just wants to kill everything, destroy everything.
Right.
He doesn't really want to. He wanted to rule this sometimes, I think, in the comics, and other times they kind of like change the storyline. But
that's when they make. That's when Doctor Strange makes a bargain. That's when Dormammu.
That was come so to that movie was so good.
He just died like 30 times.
It was hilarious.
I died laughing. Speaking of which, Doctor Strange, really fucking cool in this movie.
Yeah, that
really
was
fucking cool.
That was very well done. Like his acting, of course, is always spot on. Benedict Cumberbatch, But I mean, in general, I didn't expect him to have such a prominent role.
His power that he did, where he turned into like the Indian god for like half a second.
That was awesome.
And then he separated into like 100 of himself and fucking wrapped around Thanos. That was the shit.
I hate movies. Can't smoke in here.
No, I'm dying for a cigarette.
You don't even need to smoke to enjoy cigarette juice.
Hi, I'm the character Spaghetti, and when I'm not spooking, I like to smoke. When I can't smoke, I choose cigarette juice because it tastes great and it's filled with the nicotine and the tar that I need. Ooh, spaghetti. Oops, cigarette juice.
Cigarette juice from Cinco Drinks. It's natural.
Fucking Spider-Man.
That was sweet.
Swinging through the fucking meteors coming at him.
That was sweet.
Saving the Guardians as they're about to get hit. Like, I was so hyped. I think Spider-Man probably had the coolest scenes.
He did. His comedy scenes were like spot on.
Oh, yeah. Was Footloose good?
No.
It never was.
No.
He was like, is it the best movie on earth? He was like, no, it never was.
It's so funny. He's like, really?
He's like, damn it.
That was so great.
Drax, fucking invisible, confirmed.
Was it? Are you really? I don't know.
You gotta watch the movie again so you can laugh at that even more because he has that really long joke about how if he stands perfectly still, no one will see him with their eyes, and like they start that scene with with a long shot going down the hallway that Drax is standing at the end of. So you would definitely see him if he's there, but he's not. So then he says that he's standing there for an hour, but like they don't even see him until he goes to eat them chips.
That's true. I mean, he was. I mean, when they panned into the scene,
they like show the hallway and he's just not there. But when he goes to eat, like that's when they're like, dude, how long you been here? An hour. As long as I stay perfectly still, no one can see me.
That's so fucking
dude, we can see you eating. He's like,
it was really funny.
He's like, no, I am.
I did like.
He's like, I'm sure I am invisible.
Yeah, sure I'm invisible. I did like how like they threw Hulk through Strange's window in the exact same spot as the Silver Surfer did in the comics.
Oh yeah,
you know, it's like a stand-up.
Yeah, like the same shit right through the staircase and
right through the window. Yeah, because they don't obviously own the property, so
yeah,
they can't like use the Silver Surfer, which that sucks.
Understandable,
and
but
sucks. So.
Yeah. Not that long.
And like you have a character like another good example of a character who's not like available because of the contract rights and stuff, and who's completely untouched by any film so far is Mephisto.
Oh yeah, completely.
You know, I mean he's basically the devil. You know,
yeah.
But he's obsessed with he's like really obsessed with the purity of the Silver Surfer's soul. So a lot of stuff that a lot of the comics he shows up in is him trying to pollute Norrin Radd's soul, and you know I don't know.
That's crazy stuff, though.
Yeah,
I think it would add a whole massive layer to the movie that they couldn't even touch on in a 3-hour movie.
But they did lots of shit with him though. Like we had to deal with Spider-Man. He erased Spider-Man's marriage as part of a deal to save Aunt May, which makes no sense.
That was just a deal to save Marvel.
And he was also yeah, exactly.
Because at the time they were like, "Nah, dude, don't do that."
Well, Aunt May's been near death for like 45, 50 fucking years.
Right.
It's unnecessary at this point.
It's unnecessary for his aunt to be like 70 as well.
How many times do we have to go over his... Like, when they reboot the comics, which they do like every 20 years, how many times do we have to like see Aunt May again being... he's hiding his identity from Aunt May, and that's part of the thing.
That's annoying. It gets old.
It's very old. It's not fun.
Right. It's been told a million times.
Exactly. And it just gets annoying. Like, oh, Peter's getting in trouble. Oh, look, people are pissed at Peter because he had to hide.
I'd rather just see Miles' origin at this point.
I know, yeah.
You know? Even though it's not nearly as exciting as Peter's. Like, just give me something fresh. Aunt May and Uncle Ben dying is not fresh.
You know, the cauldron that Tony leans on, the cauldron of the cosmos that Tony leans on. It's he's had it in the comics since I want to say it was the early days of the Defenders. It doesn't have the same place in his armor as things like the Eye of Agamotto or Darkhold or anything. It's like something that Strange uses to relax. So like he can view different realities and timelines with it, and he would sit for hours on end and dwell upon the mysteries of the universe.
That's crazy.
It's basically just a scrying stone or whatever.
Right.
It's kind of funny, like the way this, Tony and Doctor Strange were both very, very intelligent people. But they still managed to like really annoy each other, which is true for most geniuses.
Well, yeah, because even in Doctor Strange, like he was kind of a pretentious dude. Like in the very beginning, he was like really like I'm the shit. Look at me. Like he was just like Tony, just a doctor. That was really the only difference. They're like the same dude.
Yeah.
Like just different paths. It's crazy.
It's kind of weird. Ebony Maw was very well done.
Very well done. He was the best of the Black Order.
Oh yeah, Black Dwarf. I don't remember Black Dwarf at all. Who was he supposed to be?
Huh?
Well, did he exist in the comics?
Black Dwarf was in the comics. Yeah.
I don't remember him.
All four of them were in the comics, but they weren't added until recently. I think they were added in the Infinity run by Jonathan Hickman. I think he's the one that did it. But yeah, Black Dwarf was amongst them. They changed his name to Cull Obsidian with this one. They nerfed Proxima Midnight and Corvus Glaive because they're just too OP in the comics. And then they buffed the hell out of Ebony Maw to make him like stronger than Doctor Strange theoretically.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, he just outclasses Doctor Strange like multiple times in the first moment they fight. Like right out the gate, he has him put up against the wall, and he does that brick thing. Oh, I thought that was so fucking cool.
That was really sweet.
and then he like just takes the wall with him into the ship. And then he does like the glass acupuncture where he's like, make a move and you're dead. It's crazy.
I liked how Mantis's powers in this were kind of like she didn't really do a whole lot except hang out and be a cheerleader.
Yeah, she was hilarious too.
But then when they did use her, it wasn't really funny. It was well done.
We take name, or what did she say?
Take butts and kick names.
She's like, kick names and take ass.
That's so funny.
It was so good.
Oh my god! And then at the end, you see the winter. Well, not the end, but midway through the first part of the movie, you've got the Winter Soldier coming back.
Getting his new arm.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. It was nice to see him again.
I like Bucky. I'm glad he got to a certain point.
I thought that was pretty cool. I'm kind of bored with homeless man looking Captain America at this point, though. I'm like, just shave your fucking beard and put the costume on again. I
don't know. I'm bored with Cap. Period. Yeah, I think Chris Evans needs to get his final movie, a really good hurrah moment with the shield, and then be done. I'm actually ready for it.
It'd be nice to see him or Tony restart S.H.I.E.L.D. and,
I think Tony's going to restart S.H.I.E.L.D. because
step back and have other people take on the roles.
If Tony does it, it comes full circle with his dad.
It's true.
Because his dad started it with Peggy.
Peggy. She dead as hell.
I heard there's theories that you remember Age of Ultron when Scarlet Witch gave them all visions of the future or some shit or just their life or some shit. I seen there's a theory that Captain America's his little vision where he was in the ballroom and he sees Peggy and she asks him for the dance and then everybody's gone.
Yeah.
I heard that was like a potential future scene. Where he gets thrown back in time. And the disappearing thing was just a reference to Infinity War. Snap and everybody's gone. But I heard there's a theory that, when everything is resolved in Avengers 4, they're gonna, Cap's gonna sacrifice himself.
Well, I wouldn't be surprised.
And
maybe they just don't do anything with the character. This is the other thing. We keep assuming they're going to kill off some of these guys to make room for new ones. Mm-hmm. Maybe they're just fuck it, and they just don't do them. Hemsworth wants to do Thor, so we'll do another.
I think they'll do that,
and they'll probably do another Iron Man movie. What if they're just you know what? Fuck Scarlet Witch, Captain America. We just won't touch the property for a while, and we'll make Fantastic Four. We'll make Moon Knight.
They could just fuck off with a couple characters. Scarlet Witch could just be gone.
Yeah.
I wouldn't want that necessarily because I think they can do so much more.
You
but
like that Skeletor looking bitch?
I do. She's cute.
She's gross.
She is cute as shit.
She's skinny. I don't like women skinny.
She's cuter than half the female cast of that movie.
She needs to have a hamburger.
You're crazy.
That's gross.
You're crazy. She got some titties.
She lives off Slim Fat. You tell you, she's got titties.
She got some titties.
Your dad's gonna listen to this and slap your mouth.
He got some titties.
Oh, leave your dad's playing. Leave your dad's titties. Yeah, your birthday's playing.
No,
your dad kill you.
He would say she got some titties because she got some titties.
Tisk. She only looks like it because she's skinny. This is how the world works, young man.
She's got some titties.
Let's shut up. All right.
I love her.
No. What else? Because the next property is
Black Panther.
Yeah.
I think he's got to come back.
Well, yeah. He's not only an absolutely brilliant actor, but it was a lot of fun. Having him. Yeah, in the Civil War movie, his scenes were kind of overly angry. Obviously his dad just died.
Yeah, but, it was a full revenge mission.
But the movie version of him was fantastic.
Great, incredible.
That man is such a good actor.
Chadwick Boseman.
Oh yeah, what's actor. Next for Marvel? Movie wise, we've got
Ant-Man 2.
Ant-Man 2. We've got Captain Marvel.
Then Avengers 4. And then Spider-Man 2, which just casted Mysterio.
I want that classic costume. I think it's.
I think it has potential to happen.
The fishbowl.
The more I think about it, the more I think it can happen. Because Vulture, his costume was pretty shit in the comics. Just like a green suit with the real wings, it was kind of shit. They needed to revamp it. But Mysterio's costume, it's really eccentric. It almost looks like it could be a hero costume.
It's true.
So I think that it could work as long as they flesh out his story and whatever and why he does it. Because if they do it right, and he is like just a sound effects stage dude or whatever, and he gets pissed off because he's outshined by people, like, it'd be great to see him build his suit as he's doing productions and shit in a theater.
That's true.
And then go full villain. It'd be sweet.
Because we got Black Panther, Doctor Strange, Spider-Man, Captain Marvel. I mean, these are all characters that they can reuse. The actors want to come back. Guardians of the Galaxy.
James Gunn said that Guardians 3 is like very highly likely gonna happen, and very highly likely gonna contain Adam Warlock or Magus.
It'd be sweet. Well, yeah, they set up Adam Warlock, like big time. You know.
Yeah. And what if it has both of them?
I still say that failed Warlock cocoon and the collectors could.
It very well could be him.
That was the Magus. I'm pretty sure.
I think. I think it would be sweet if both of them showed up. Like, it was just the same dude, just like a good one and a bad one, and the Guardians are like there for the fight.
Yeah,
that'd be the shit. As long as they fleshed out who Adam is and what he's all about.
I mean, they've got untitled films that they're working on. They won't say anything about it. I mean, you've got like Blade, Brother Voodoo, Man Thing.
They've had Blade for a while and they haven't done anything. Like, Marvel themselves have had Blade for like 4 years.
They could do a fucking Midnight Suns movie. That would be awesome.
That'd be crazy.
Do individual movies with each one of them and have them come together. I mean, you got Adam Warlock, Quasar, Nova.
Yes, please.
You could have
even Moon Knight. I still think Moon Knight deserves something.
I would love to see him. I mean, Mark Spector is so fucking crazy.
Awesome.
He's just nuts. I mean, just that. I don't know. There's something about the Khonshu, or however you say that name, the Egyptian god that gives him his powers, also drives him completely nuts.
Yeah.
Like, completely insane. And you could have Star-Lord die in Guardians of the Galaxy 3 and have him replaced by Captain Marvel.
Mm-hmm.
That'd
be interesting. So
you could have Black Widow and
bring
Wasp
in Miss
step
Marvel,
up.
the younger one.
That's true.
There's so many freaking characters they could touch on.
You got the Beyonder, Norman Osborn, Green Goblin. They could put him in there. I mean, they're gonna have a lot more options in a couple of years. And
if Sony decides to go full on with this Marvel Spider-Man team up movie shit, where Sony allows them to do it over and over, we're gonna get a lot of good Spider-Man shit too. I heard that we might even get I heard they're working on Black Panther 2 right now, and Michael B. Jordan is being talked about for coming back in a potential ancestral plane moment.
Ooh.
And there's also potential for Donald Glover to come into the movie at some point. And the thing is, Donald Glover is the Prowler in Spider-Man Homecoming.
Very true.
So would Prowler, maybe we get a more international Black Panther 2, where he goes to where he polices the world finally? Where he's not just a Wakanda defender. Maybe Wakanda's fine, and he hears some shit's going on, so he's running the Avengers or something.
Think about it this way too, though. I mean, we've got that acquisition of the Disney, the Fantastic Four, X-Men kind of shit.
Fox, yeah.
You're looking at you can throw in Kang the Conqueror, Galactus, Doctor Doom. You've got it doesn't happen until 2019, but. It does. If that gets approved, I mean, the X-Men and the Fantastic Four will definitely play major roles in the next Marvel Cinematic Universe, phases. And it's going to be interdimensional, trickery or something. Think about it this way too. You could have they could finish out the X-Men that era, that whole series, because they have a pedigree of films.
Yeah, they got
They could introduce the Fantastic Four, have them rip a hole in the space-time continuum, and have them appear in the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
I think that's the way they gotta go. I think because X-Men is currently being made as a movie series for Fox, the second that deal goes through, let Fox do their thing, because I know there are people that like those movies. I do like the X-Men movies that they make.
I mean, you got an option to do an X-Men versus Avengers. That shit would be tight.
Fucking crazy.
Adventures in the negative zone, time travel.
I think if it goes through, they could potentially end Phase 4 with Fantastic Four, and then they lead into Phase 5, which is X-Men.
I think they could do with the Avengers. They could do an Avengers movie after Infinity War, or actually the last part of the Infinity War movie, they could have that lead into Secret Invasion. They could totally do that.
Full scroll shit.
Yeah, so at the end of Infinity War, you just have one of the characters that gets killed. They find the body, it's a Skrull, and they wonder, okay, who else is, who's a Skrull, who's not.
That'd be crazy. Just a person, you see like them just wither away.
Well, yeah, we've talked about that
and then
before.
you see like the green skin. And
even if it's a throwaway scene, like just a person on the street gets hit by a chunk of debris, and they turn into a Skrull. You see people staring at it.
that
what
could
the
be
fuck?
that could be a sweet post.
Yeah, the camera pans away, and then they don't touch it for an entire movie or two.
Oh, I heard Ghost, the villain of Ant-Man 2.
Oh yeah.
I heard she's more than likely Lawrence Fishburne's daughter.
Oh.
Goliath.
No shit.
Yeah, so they're playing the whole Hank Pym was Ant-Man and whatever. His daughter is the Wasp, and she's with the new Ant-Man and whatever. Meanwhile, Goliath, his daughter, becomes the villain of the story, Ghost, and she's like fucking with the quantum realm and shit. Really,
that'd be awesome.
Really neat. And I think it would be sweet if they bring like Goliath in on everything. Like if we actually get to see Lawrence Fishburne do that shit, because I think it would be such a throwaway.
That man is so funny. He's such a good actor.
He's great.
I've loved him ever since
Morpheus.
Well, not even before that.
Well, before that, what was
Event Horizon? I loved him in Event Horizon from 1998.
Boys in the Hood. Boys in the Hood.
He was the Boys in the Hood?
He was the dad in Boys in the Hood.
No shit. I don't even remember that.
Yep, Cuba Gooding Jr.'s dad.
That's crazy.
I love Lawrence Fishburne. I think he's a great actor, and I think if he plays Goliath and they don't show him do some Goliath shit, it's a throwaway.
What if they have him like as Goliath and then Thor shoots lightning through him?
That'd be fucking...
Like in Civil War, he just shows his lands and goes, "Hey, is that Thor?" Boom!
Oh my god!
I'm off, and he just flies through. Like, ah!
Speaking of Thor, he was fucking incredible in the Battle of Wakanda.
That was awesome. Well, he was definitely over. He used that Odin Force. Holy
when he
shit.
jumped and then slammed the electricity and just wiped out. Or when he was flying around and then took out
the ships. Oh yeah,
that was so cool. They were like retreating because he was wrecking them so fast.
I will say that reminded me a lot of Attack of the Clones when they were shooting the ships were trying to take off and they were shooting them down. Mm-hmm. I was like, that's a bit of a...
I liked it though. I like Attack of the Clones. So like when I seen that, I was like, holy shit! Because they took it to another level when he went through it and then went up and blew it up. It was fucking so cool. Or when Thanos, when Tony crushed Thanos with a big ass piece of debris. And then he blew it up, caught it with the Space Stone, and then used the Reality Stone to turn it into bats. And
that was great.
Oh, it was so perfect. Everything about it.
It was pretty good. I mean, like I said, the faults I had were mainly omissions and the nerfing of Thanos. Otherwise, it was great.
I loved it.
I'm interested to see the calamity that affected Saturn, right? Or Titan. So Titan's axis is off by 6 degrees. It's completely fucked up and devoid of life. I think they're using that as a setup for Galactus.
Me too.
I'm confident.
I think that's a thing because the whole Thanos knows that something is gonna wreck this planet.
It's attracting too much attention because their power
overpopulated,
lots of energy and lots of life.
And he's Galactus, the eater of worlds, sees that this one world has a lot to eat, and then fucking just devours it. I think there's a high possibility that they could touch on that.
Because he doesn't eat the planets himself; he just sucks the energy out.
Yeah,
he leaves them a burnout husk.
Yeah.
You know, although he can't do it to all of them. He tried to eat Wraith World when they're in Ram, and the dire Wraiths. You know, their powers are so evil and so dark, and the energy they put out is so twisted and just disgusting. He couldn't physically consume the planet; it just started to poison him. So there's certain planets he cannot eat. At least in the Marvel.
I think Titan could be eaten, though.
Oh, no, totally. No,
what I mean?
The Eternals? Oh, yeah.
I think that'd be sweet.
I'd like to see them throw some Eternals in there. I'd like to see Hyperion thrown in there.
I could also see it being a thing where they show a Celestial show up, like, in a near past time. Like, because the Guardians scene where they showed the Celestial annihilate the planet with the Power Stone, that was supposed to be, like, way in the past, like, millions of years ago. Like... a long time ago.
I'd like to see them show up to Thanos and have Thanos
that would
wipe
be
them
sweet.
out. Have like a little scene of them fighting Thanos.
Because if they show the That'd be sweet to start the movie with.
Oh, yeah,
a Celestial on Titan, like, annihilating life. And Thanos, like...
Thanos is sitting there staring out.
He's in space, like, looking down, like... Shit. Like, because he got exiled. They were like, fuck out of here. You gotta go.
That would be kind of cool.
Like... And then they show up to his doorstep, and he's got the gauntlet, and he's just looking up at him like...
That's crazy.
Like, you fuckers really think you got a chance?
That's awesome. Although, as weak as the Infinity Stones are in this universe, they might have a fucking chance, you know?
Yeah, I feel like... Well, part of the mercy thing. He never really wanted to kill any of them. He wanted the gauntlet to do the choosing.
And it's interesting because he did something... You know, remember the last episode we talked about how Thanos, how the other Celestials, I should say, you know, they plant their seeds in the planet and they use the planet's population to feed the seed and protect the seed until it hatches. Well, Thanos,
that could be a motivation.
Well, yeah, Thanos just killed half the fucking, the life on all the planets. So you're looking at like half their energy is just halved. You gotta wonder how many of these seeds were midway through gestation just died. Because they were getting used to a certain flow of power, and that flow got cut off, so they just withered and died. You know, it's kind of cool. I mean, if beings like Eon exist, then they'll do something else with some of the cosmic beings. I'm sure they just have to wait. I mean, they might have stuff in mind. I
seen someone looked back and said Heimdall said that he could see like 10 trillion souls in the known universe.
Yeah.
So theoretically, Thanos just killed 5 trillion plus souls in that snap. And then I thought about it like, damn, on Earth, with the way we got planes and helicopters and cars and shit,
a lot of people died.
When you snap and all them people disappear, you killed way more than half, bro.
Yeah.
Like, a lot of people just died due to accidents that happened because of what you just did. Air traffic control dudes disappear, and then the fucking planes just can't. There's a lot of consequences to it.
People driving in cars, driver disappears, you know.
I'm going to be real fucking pissed if they start this movie with like a 5-year memoriam for Peter Parker or some shit in Brooklyn.
Oh my god.
I'd cry my eyes out in the first 5 minutes, and then I'd be like,
whatever, that kid ain't dead.
Like, fuck you, Feige.
You know that ain't right. He'll come back at the end of the movie, he'll be crybabies.
Yeah, he'll come back and I'll still be crying.
What, are you gonna cry now? Come on, cry, baby, cry for me. Come on, cry.
Deep in the recesses of my brain, a tiny red-hot little flame began to grow.
I'd be like, hey, but they killed my boy Pete.
I'm gonna get you some panties and stuff.
Give me some sweet ones.
Unnecessary.
Give me some cheetah joints.
Take it to that level, so mean.
Give me some cheetahs.
Next time, we're going to see, we've been reading, the next episode, we've been reading, different comics and stuff. I've been getting into the X-Men series. And the issue that Mike and I both bitched about, and we're going to cover this, is the fact that the newer comic series, you can't, they'll have, a storyline, X-Men versus, young X-Men. And instead of, it just, it'll be 3 issues. And you're like, oh, I can read 3 issues. That'll be great.
But you lose the story in between.
But there's a fucking tie-in. There's 50 tie-ins. Civil War was like that. There was hundreds of tie-in books. And it's just like, dude, yeah, I do want to read the whole story. I really, really do. I'm not going to go out and collect 100 fucking other comics. Some of them of characters I don't give a fuck about.
Right.
The Runaways. Who?
So?
What the fuck? It's really bad.
This makes me want to run away.
Oh my god, yeah, I know, right? It's just like Power Pack, you have X-Men. You do shit they'll have X-Men versus Avengers. And then, the story is continued in Power Pack number 45. It's like, what the fuck?
Why?
It's really, really annoying. And yeah, you can skip it, because they do a synopsis at the beginning of most of the comics.
Yeah.
Previously,
this is what happened. This person
But
did
it's
this.
not the same thing.
No. It's really not. You lose a lot of effect, and you don't know who certain new characters to the story are.
Well, that's the problem I ran into, But we'll cover that. I mean, I could bitch about that for ages. They legit, took the X-Men from the past, stuck them in the present, and then there's so many storylines that go everywhere. It's just fucked.
It's all over the place.
And that's the other thing we can talk about is how much of a fail. I mean, Brian Michael Bendis, is a really good writer. He's a good writer. He's cool. He's like Stegman.
He's going back to Superman soon.
Oh, I know.
That's cool.
But Ryan Stegman, who I know, he's from the Comic-Con circuit. He doesn't be personally. Like, we've only hung out once or twice.
Right.
But, he's a very nice guy. And Ryan is a really good, Venom artist. He's like the Venom artist right now.
Yeah, I just seen his cover. It's the shit.
It's amazing. I read that comic cover to cover, And he does it right, though. The way he writes, not writes, the way he draws the characters and stuff, it's consistent. It's well done, and it's proportioned. Some of these other comics that we're picking up and reading, they're weird. Like, I showed him a comic, showed Mike a comic today where, a couple of panels, Jean Grey's like, oh, it's a redhead,
Like,
whatever.
she looks like traditional Jean Grey.
Yeah. And then, like, one panel, she looks like Frog Lady. Her eyes,
her face just changed
Dude,
completely.
It's like somebody hit her with a frying pan in the face. Her fucking eyeballs.
For no reason.
They're going two different directions. It was fucked
Like,
up.
mouth is all slag jawed.
It was weird, and then they went back to normal drawing. And then it's like it's a bit like how the Fantastic Four in the Unlimited universe was, where it was obvious they were using real people
as references.
Yeah. And it's fine if you want to do that, but they would copy they'd use they weren't looking at just like a movie or something. They were looking at a picture of somebody smiling and looking in the distance, and they'd use that face. For Sue Storm.
It's just bad.
But then later in that comic book, they'd have a completely different character, the exact same expression, the exact same facial structure, everything is just a different color. It may be dark hair.
Yeah.
And you look at it and you just go, okay, that's Sue Storm with dark hair. Oh, wait, no, they just reused that face.
Mm-hmm.
And shit like that drives me nuts.
Yeah, it's just lazy.
See, I just went off on a rant about that, and we're talking about that in the next episode. That's just half my episode. Great.
One more week.
Fuck it.
One more week. Get the episode, bitch.
Damn it. Damn it.
You download.
Yeah, right. You listen to this.
You listen.
Send us in some fun questions. We like questions.
Send us questions.
Questions are neat. We like theories.
Give.
Tell us to shut up. It's okay, too.
Do that.
You can find us on Twitter at Dfam Podcast. Obviously, we're on YouTube. The YouTube. If you like looking at a picture of our, whatchamacallit? What do you call that thing that we have?
A logo.
Logo. Look at a picture of our logo drawn by my wife, because it's fun. And it's free, so I take it. I take it because it's free. What you going to do, charge me for it?
What you going to do?
I'll put her out in the street. She would kill me. If you like looking at the logo, or just, if you have YouTube and you find it better to do that, you can do that. And listen to it. But,
hit us with the feedback.
Hit us up with some feedback. Yeah, let us know what you think. We're doing pretty good. My friend Kevin Miner, who is one of 15 brothers, apparently. No, it's not that many brothers.
15 brothers.
Kevin Miner says he still likes our first episode. He said it was very good. It's his favorite.
15 brothers who are just regular brothers.
I love Rick and Morty. That's something else we should celebrate, ladies and gentlemen. Rick and Morty, 70 episodes.
70.
We'll do a Rick and Morty
That's
episode.
That's like 7 seasons.
It's like 70 episodes of awesome. That's so good. All right, we will see you next time.
Peace.
Peace.